Come on up. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, here we go. All right. This is not going to be a live video. Only Melissa does things very well live like that. So, welcome to MK Quilts. Melissa is on the road, and I am back in the shop. And what I have here, other than the famous Samson dog to help out, is I have Melissa's new Forte. Now, obviously, she's been using the Fusion for a long time. I have cleaned it up, packed it up. It's going to a new home. But we're keeping our table here with the hydraulic lift system on it. And we will be replacing the Fusion with the Forte. This big Forte box, it looks like it gets a little abused, but as you'll see, it's very well padded, and I'm sure the machine's okay. Because we also have customers in doing stencils or following the laser along the lines on the table, we ordered the back arms for the Forte. That is not included anymore, especially if you're doing ProStitcher. You use it so rarely. It's a couple $100 cost to get it added back on. We're going to see what's in the accessories. Here's the ProStitcher box down here, the long one. And my productivity inhibitor here is going to probably make this a little bit longer effort than it needs to be. For Melissa's, by the way, Melissa gave me permission to run through this. I do want to let her know that I am not using her good sewing scissors to open these boxes. This is probably the cheapest pair of scissors on the planet. All right, so Samson, can we open up these boxes and see what's going on here? All right, so, just relax. Okay, so because I know that we're gonna need to get the carriage out to set the machine on, I'm gonna actually start with the ProStitcher box. All right, what do we got here, Sammy? Let's not cut ourselves. That'd be really embarrassing. So the big black ProStitcher box. Sammy's not sure what to do about that. All right. So all ProStitchers come with an Acer tablet preloaded with the operating system. When I say operating system, they're doing Windows 10 now, but it's also including the ProStitcher software, and it's locked down so that updates from the internet won't affect it. So the internet's disabled, and I suspect I'm going to find the same warning message in there as well. This is a Switch Alpha 12. Basically, they turn over models of computers so fast that you're not guaranteed what version of Acer tablet you're going to get, but it's usually the Switch brand. I've known people that have had their old ProStitcher for many years, and they warranty this for 5 years, and nobody warranties electronics for 5 years anymore, especially these laptops and such. So if the hard drive in it goes out, you might get a brand new PC under warranty. So I've seen that happen. We'll just open this up. See, it's been opened and loaded. It's got the serial number of your machine on it. And it looks very, very similar to the ones that are on Melissa's other machines. So warning, the network connection on this computer has been intentionally disabled. Basically, call me if you're our customer before you do anything to these things. Now there's a keyboard. I mean, this is a full-blown tablet computer and power supply and such, but we'll hold on to those, but they're not used. All right, so I am going to put this back together and set it aside. All right. So in the ProStitcher box obviously comes the mounting bracket for hooking it on the machine. Here's the track. I guess I could get closer. I'll see about zooming in on it when we do the editing. Track, power supply, getting started, CD. You can usually find these online as well. So that's for powering it up and for setting up the table with the track, because you get the table without the track. Of course, in this case, we'll probably use the one that's already there. All right, the premium getting started guide, helpful stuff. If you've got Melissa's videos, you don't need any stinking manuals. All right. And the most important part is going to be the track, which we attach to the bottom of the machine to do the Y coordinate. I gotta always remember, it's up and down's Y, X axis goes across, so this moves the machine back and forth on the table in front of you. So we'll get that on when the time comes. All right, the money shot. The Carriage for the Forte. Having just cleaned up and taken the Fusion carriage out, I will tell you there's not a lot of difference. One big enhancement is the cords down here. Oh yeah, this is too big. Take my word for it when we take it apart. They've changed these cords. There's no more gray ribbon cable coming off that you have on the other ones. The motors, the power supply are pretty much the same. They got to where they're really very reliable here. Your X coordinates. These belts, I haven't seen them wear out after millions and millions of stitches and moving for Melissa. Clearly you come back here, you pull out strings, you blow it out, you clean it up. And that's really the low maintenance that you have to do. I recently set up a Forte, and one of the pictures they sent back was that something was dragging on the table. Well, I believe it will be this thing that is dragged down. So they've got cable ties here and here. We'll have to see whether we put another one of those sticky things that only lasts about a year anyways, or what. But it can drag, might make a little noise, but it's not going to be a big deal. These little black things you can see right here are I believe they're ferrite beads. They put them around cables and things to keep them from acting like little radio antennas, I guess, and inducing signals across other wires. Now, it's been 30 years since I had my radio training, so I could be completely full of it. All right, so this is your carriage. You can get a better shot there. Okay, a point here is this wheel on the back of the carriage. There we go, the black unit there is tracking your X. It's an X encoder. What's interesting is I don't believe ProStitcher uses that to track the X and Y when the motors are engaged. The X and Y coordinates come straight from the motors. So let me get this. Did not think this out very well. Looks like it came engaged by default, and I know I'm real small here. I'll try and zoom in on myself. I just roll this up. The motor that pulls up and down the, oops, rolled it over. can be rotated. Obviously you don't want to overbend it there. Hopefully I can zoom in on that a little bit. There is an Allen wrench that sticks in the front that allows you to do it while the thing's down. You can get good with your fingers, but now it's running freely because it's not engaged. Now the Y encoder, or the gear here going front and back, that's will engage and move the machine front and back. All right, so we've got that out. Let's move the box out of the way. All right, while we're here and my head's cut off, slide it back here a little bit. All right. So one of the other packets is, and Melissa always orders it, it's $500 when you order it with the unit, $1,000 if you try and order it separately. These are any quilter prices. We recommend, if you use Art and Stitch, that you license it on your laptop or PC and not on the tablet. For more information, you can talk to us. Oh, we'll check that out once we get the machine up. Now, you might catch that we have a sidearm upgrade sitting here for Melissa's other table, which once I finish that quilt over there for her, I will be installing it. All right, so the accessories box. Ooh, exciting. All right. Reference cards. Let's get quilting. What's inside? A user manual, the quick reference card, the Superior Thread starter pack, and some tools and accessories. All right, well, nobody has CDs in their laptops anymore, so you will get a USB drive with the content that's normally on a CD. If you are a customer and you lose this, if you're a customer of ours, I'll make it available for you to download online because you own it. It's not cheating. All right. The goodie bag here, where you have your bobbins. I really think it's interesting that they include an extra O-ring. It's like the space shuttle. Ooh, sorry, Sammy. The O-ring is this little black ring, which goes around the wheel for the X and Y encoders. I've seen people pop them off and lose them, but I've never had to really replace one yet. So basically, stuff you need to finish off the machine. Your tools, your oil. Yep, that's a full bottle of oil. At a drop of a time, you don't go through it very fast, but it's good to oil. Hardware for putting the arms on the front. Your first bobbin case. I would suggest, if you're going to be doing a lot or even a decent amount of quilting with your machine, that you spend money and have a second bobbin case around, because it is surprising. Just I've had customers where the bobbin case wears out in some way and they start having tension thread problems. It's just good to have another one to eliminate it. You can swap it in and out. All the little tools you need are here. Your first set of needles as well. Melissa, these are the standard R needles. The FGs are the, it'll come back to me, ballpoint needles. They're thicker, but I tell you, Melissa can quilt in both directions, and those needles don't go dull and don't go out very fast. So anyways, your goodie bag is in here. Superior Threads gives you a nice sample container. You can see our thread wall over there, all Superior Omni thread. People have their own bias, that's fine. Learn your thread tensions. You'll avoid a lot of hassles, but Melissa has millions and millions of stitches on her machines. To keep life simple, she sticks with her Omni or Omni V threads for most of things. If a customer asks, she will do something different, but it can very often lead to more difficulty to get everything looking right. So whichever thread you choose, we recommend standardizing on a set of threads, especially if you're doing a lot of quilts for a lot of people. We do have a thread club, so that once a month you can get 3 spools of thread at a discount. Superior has a thread club, but guess what? You get to get on our website each month and choose your colors, and we'll have them to you by the end of the month. And there's a few other things we try and do for you if you get on the site, mkquilts.com. You will find all the details. I am the details guy. I keep the website up. All right. Let's open the big box. All right, so this is not a light box. I suggest you keep it around in case you do ever need to ship this thing back to a handy quilter for any major maintenance or such. All right. This is the exciting part of delivering the machine. The deal is, you want to open up both ends. Oh, Sammy's a little concerned now. Okay, you see the nice pink here? This works a lot better with 2 people. I call it birthing the machine, and you will see why shortly. Yeah, it does look like they bounced the corner of this, but you can see all the foam will protect it pretty well. And we run it through in spaces. On one of my machines, the tension wheel needed to be reinserted and tightened, probably due to shipping. Not a big deal when you're a qualified technician. All right, I know this looks silly, but I'm alone. It's time to give birth to the new Forte. And husbands, if you get in trouble with the wives, here's a good place to hide out and sleep. But anyways, okay. Let's slide it back to keep it in the camera. All right. So once you birth the baby, keep the box. Takes a lot of room, but like I said, we always keep the machine boxes. I am going to hopefully not embarrass myself, but let's try this way. Ladies and gentlemen, the Forte. All right, front handlebars, front panel, which with the ProStitcher we will not be using. The Handy Quilter bobbin winder. So assembling it's not a big deal, so I'm going to set this aside. All right, so I believe I opened it on the opposite side. I'm going to flip it over because as you will see, whew, hey, haven't I seen you someplace before? All right. Okay, that's what happens when Melissa calls you when you're using your phone to record a video. So we'll get back to this. She loves being out on the road with her friends, her quilters. Oh, Sammy, are you being neglected again? Get you some more screen time. That way your agent doesn't get on my case. Yep. Yes, Sammy is available for other commercials, other products as well. Yep, all right. So, there is some cleanup to do. I see some discoloration here. I'm sure it'll wash off. I will probably cut out a lot of this. So basically we have the rack here, and when we come and set it up for you, we're doing all this. You don't need to, but just from a reference what it takes to unbox this and get it to the table. We're going to put on the rail right there. The book tells me what size I need, but I'll be right back. Okay. There we go. It is the 4 by 120. I think that's 4 mil, whatever. Yes, 4. All right, through the magic of editing, hopefully this won't take long. Okay, so the deal here is you don't want to tighten it down completely anyways, because we're going to have to align it with the gears on the carriage. So that's in place, that's good to go. And I'm getting the power warning on my camera. I knew I'd get that. So I think it is time to get the machine out of the box onto the table. Who here wants to watch me drop this? All right. All right, the moment of truth. Now, if you have 2 people, this works a lot better. However, with a strong back and a little common sense, I'm not sure I have either of those right now. What are you catching? There we go. All right. Take 3. You never want to touch or lift by the needle arms, needle area there. That's just a no-no. You'll bend it. It's not good. Right now, I just need to get it out of the box. Having another person would make this a lot easier. See, Melissa, I'm not a total nerd. I got a little strength here. All right. So right now we've got the gears so that they're not engaged the table or the machine. And I mentioned a big Allen wrench. And I know the video camera is just sort of pointed, so you're going to have to imagine, but we've got this big Allen wrench, which fits into the machine here and into that little thing that under here that I rolled with my fingers. And actually, if you're pretty good, you can do it without this. But by turning it, it engages the gear. And now we have to line up the Y gear. Now, the other thing that's very interesting here is I'm glad to see that the table, the space for this gear still hasn't changed between models, so I don't have to change the blue track on the table. That would have been a real pain in the butt. All right, so where were we? We were lining the track here should move this out of the way here. This shipping tape. And this is the nice handy hammock under here, if you're wondering what that is. Everything can be found on Melissa's Handy Quilter store, mkquilts.com. Alright, loosen it up. Alright, you can see it's tracking a little bit that way. Move it over. Alright. Perfect track, front to back. Tighten down. Okay. I like that. You don't need 100% engagement, but I like it perfect. All right. My phone's dying. It's getting a little late. Take a knee. Never at the national anthem, not me. Sammy, come here. Come here. All right, come on up here. All right. So Sammy and I are going to call it a night, and maybe we post this as a 2-part video here if I play with it tonight, and you can come back and see part 2 of getting the Forte set up with ProStitcher, back handlebars, and hopefully quilting. Yeah, he's cute. I get stuck looking at him too, but Sammy keeps me company when Melissa's out of town. All right, good luck. We will talk to you mañana.